Hello, welcome back. Alan here, musical journey, Prince, and the new power generation. But just let's show it to Prince, 1988, Lovesexy tour, third row, Wembley. I was there. Let's get into this.
Have you ever been so lonely that you felt like you were the only one in this world? Have you ever wanted to play with someone so much you take anyone, boy or girl?
Oh,
Anastasia, come to me, talk to me, ravish me, liberate my mind. Tell me what you think of me, praise me, craze me, out the space and time. Between white and black, night and day, black night seemed like the only way. So I danced.
so I was there, Wembley. I can't remember, it was a long time ago. I was 23. And in my own little world, sometimes I was itching for trouble because I remember after, well, this is a post-concert story. I'd gone home. I bought the Lovesexy t-shirt. The album was banned in some record stores because it had that sort of Prince being naked. And this is the whole Lovesexy album, the sort of the inner turmoil of his relationship between good and evil, God and good. And it's all there. And in America, not his most successful album, but here it was a #1 album. The tour was massive. But I just remember I wore the t-shirt home. At home, it was summer. I was still a serving soldier, and I was walking home from somewhere. I was visiting someone, a pub, I don't know. And I to this day, I remember an actual sort of working man's working truck pulled up with 3 lads on it, and they started literally trying to physically abuse because I had this Prince t-shirt on. And I thought it was funny. Because I was in that stage, and I guess it was naive, and I guess it was stupid. I'm not advocating it, but I just didn't care. I enjoyed it. It was a good concert. He was provocative. I was 23.
Music nothing great, no way to differentiate. I took a chance. Gregory looks just like a ghost, and then a beautiful girl the most. Wets her lips to say we could live for a little while. You could just learn to smile. You and I could fly away. Oh, Anastasia, come to me, talk to me, ravish me, liberate my mind.
This wasn't a single off the album, but it was on the set list. And the set list was split in, I think, 2 or 3 parts. I can't remember. But I was basically 2 rows from the front. The first 2 rows, he'd pretty much just had pretty girls there. And I remember he came out and did the cross, and it was 3 sets, 3-hour set. He wanted to play, I could be wrong here, guys. I don't think I am. He'd wanted to play Wembley Stadium, but they wouldn't let him go on after 11 at night because he wanted to do pyrotechnics. So I think he just did Wembley Arena for 11 nights and broke all the records because he was Prince. But this was a #1 album in the UK. It didn't break the top 10 in the US, and the singles didn't break. I think the album was number 11, but here was #1, and the singles off it were all in the top 40. This tour, the European leg of his tour, was super successful, the Lovesexy tour. So whilst we aligned on sort of culturally with Prince, this was very successful, well received in the UK. But when I went to see him, I remember I'd been going since like 81 with like Heads and stuff, and then Purple Rain and all of that. I didn't know what it was then, what I was listening to. I remember he did the cross, I thought it was beautiful. And he opened up with an acoustic guitar, jean jacket on. It's just, it was a stunning concert. But you know when something's so overwhelming that you just need the next 40 years to absorb it? That's Prince.
Tell me what you think of me. Praise me, craze me, out the space and time. Maybe I can learn to love. I mean the right way. I mean the only way. Perhaps you could show me, babe.
Some inner turmoil.
Stesia, come to me, talk to me, ravish me, liberate my mind. Maybe I can learn to love. If I was just closer to something, closer to your higher self. I don't know. Closer to heaven.
Redemption, transformation.
Closer to God. Say, Jesus, I'm a bitter fool. How could I forget that you are the blue? You are my God, I am your child. From now on, for you I shall be wild.
This is probably his most least successful album of the 80s since 81. And you're talking about somebody who just wrote, printed, and produced hits. And that was the perception and the reality. But this wasn't gold, I think, only certified. I liked it because I didn't understand it. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't stupid, but it was in a period. I was 23. The deeper meaning, the good and evil, the transformation, the redemption. You can hear it. Only God is good, and I was neither for or against, but I was intrigued. The sound, the stage performance, that funky background, but breaking into the anxiety-driven kind of rockish element of it. Yeah. And when I saw this, he performed it, and when I hear stuff, it brings it all back. I just sat and I was like, okay, yeah, this is the Mozart that they all say he is. Yeah, he was.
I shall be quick, I shall be strong. I tell your story, no matter how long, no matter how. We're just a play in your master plan. Now, my Lord, I understand.
There's the transformation.
God is love, girls and boys, God above. God is love, God is love, girls and boys, God above. Anesthesia, come to me, talk to me, ravish me, liberate my mind. God above, tell me what you think of me, praise me, out this space and time. God is love, God is love, girls and boys love, God is love.
At the time, it was 23. I thought at the time, my only, I guess, first thought was some of it seemed to be a little self-indulgent. And even when I look back, I don't know if it's self-indulgence or if he was sort of just bearing his soul. But at the time, even though I thought then and think now, he was ahead of the game by a country mile. At that moment, I thought, it's a little bit self-indulgent. What do I think now? It's a self-declaration of his struggle and his transformation and redemption and his salvation. and he was sharing it. That's what I read into it. Damn good song. Same piano outro, but different meaning at the end. I wouldn't say that's one of, I guess if you're a Prince fan, you're a Prince fan, but to the general public, that wouldn't be a sort of out there track that everyone's listened to, that people would know in the lexicon of Prince legendary songs. But I really liked it because I struggled with it then. And whilst I understand it now, I still have to go away and really deeply think about it again. Prince fans, join in. Let me know. Yeah, till next time, guys. Take care.